Hello. Yep, another video. It's currently about 4:45 now in the morning. Got some extra time today. So, I'm thinking I've been talking a lot about myself and people like Michael here who went to my Ko-fi page. I keep calling it a coffee page, but it's KO-FI. So I guess it's more Ko-fi page. Michael from season 6, thank you again for the cup of coffee. It's delicious. Could not wake up without you, my friend. But enough about us, the students. I think you guys deserve a story that everybody's interested in, and that's the split between Dan Locke and Kayvon K. What happened? You had kayvon K, who was a student of Dan Locke's, a mentee, a real mentee, okay? He found Dan in person in Vancouver, I believe the story went, and he asked Dan, please teach me your secrets. I'll do whatever you want. Dan said, sure, but I'm going to put you through a lot of work. And Kayvon was like, yes, sir, I'm ready. So for a good while, Kayvon just shut up and he just let Dan teach him. And Dan built this guy up from 100 or more grand in debt to the one-call closer that he is today. Yeah, Kayvon apparently went over 6 figures in debt, all right? And he admitted that he was doing a bunch of slimy pyramid scheme things. He said it himself, okay? So, dude, don't come at me and, try to cease and desist. You said this in speeches, on stage. I mean, I can pull these videos up today. He said that he was that guy. He was that guy who would go out onto a stage and try to sucker as many people as possible. He was doing it through the phone, doing it through videos, but that just was him for so many years, and all it did was drop him 6 figures in debt. So he finds Dan Locke and he crawls up to his feet and says, please, please, help me. And for what it's worth, Dan did. Dan took him on a one-on-one mentee relationship, and Kayvon found success. You see, this is why I feel like the program didn't work, because you can't do this through the internet, this mentor-mentee relationship. It's got to be in person. That's the only way to promote real growth. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, so Kayvon is now a master of the phones game, and he is helping teach the course. Every week he is live on the stream with Dan Locke and Desmond. He is officially, if Desmond is Dan Locke's right-hand man, then Kayvon was his left-hand man. They were the trifecta of HTC. But then something happened. Something happened between the mentor and the mentee. And this happened in September of 2018. Yeah, it was only a year ago. So it was September 2018. Apparently the story goes like this. And this is all from Kayvon's speech and Dan's speech at Closers in Black 2018. Kayvon went up to Dan Locke and said, Sifu, it's time. I've learned everything from you. But I feel like it's my time to move on and go start my own business and achieve, my own success. And Dan looked at him and was like, my child, of course, you come before me and I will give you my blessing. For even I was once a little shrimp like you, And I too had to move away from the safety of my mentor to grow. So, okay, without the theatrics, yes, Dan was like, cool, you can go and, yeah, start your own company. But I want you to wait until Closers in Black to reveal that you're leaving. And kayvon was like, okay, sure, why not? And then Dan was like, good. But, one other thing. At Closers in Black, I want to make this very clear. You do not, you hear me? You do not recruit any of my students while you are there. I don't know what kind of program you're starting, but you will not recruit my students. Is that clear? And kayvon said, sure. Oh, and that's my freaking alarm. Perfect timing, right? Okay. That's my, you stupid idiot, you did not get out of bed alarm. Which happens sometimes. I fall back to sleep. Okay, so kayvon was like, oh, yes, sure, boss. Of course, no, never. So Closes in Black 2018 happens. He gets up on stage. He gives the infamous, if Sifu told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? Yes or no? And everybody was like, not really. But this is where kayvon saved himself, because as weird as that whole thing was, he followed it up with, because I'll let you know a secret. I did it. I jumped. I did whatever Sifu said, and I found success. And it's been an incredible journey, but unfortunately it ends here, today, as I announce my official resignation from HTC. And there were tears in people's eyes, because this guy, some people looked at this guy more as the Sifu than Sifu himself, because kayvon was charismatic. He was the master of the sales game. Everybody looked up to him. Everybody wanted to work with him. Okay? As cool as Dan Locke is, people who were HTC were enamored with kayvon. You gotta understand, during Dan's masterclass, the example of success Dan uses is kayvon's story. He says how kayvon went from debt to success thanks to Dan. So for many people, his story was the reason why they were there in the first place. And now here he was saying, adios. But kayvon did not leave right after that speech. He was going to stay for the rest of Closers in Black. In fact, I remember Dan Locke went on stage afterwards and patted him on the back and said, hey, this guy right here, he's going to do great things. I can't wait to see it. Oh, jeez. It's kind of ironic. So kayvon stuck around for the rest of Closers in Black, helping out. I remember when Dan did the whole upsell for HTM, kayvon was walking around with the flyers, handing them out to people. These were the flyers that said the course was $5,000 a month. And I remember this look on his face, he wasn't excited. He actually looked kind of pissed off, oh my God, I can't believe all these people are joining. I bet, this is me assuming, okay? I bet kayvon was blown away by how many people could be suckered into this. And I feel like kayvon wanted a piece of that action. He saw what Dan was pulling in, and he wanted some of that. He didn't want to just be the right-hand man. He wanted to be the man at the top of the pyramid. He wanted to be the pharaoh. And so, right after Closers in Black, he left. And a month later, in November, he starts his own master class to bring in people to his one-call closer pilot program, where he's going to personally mentor you to make you a better salesperson and teach you the same secrets he uses to make over 6 figures a year. a few weeks later, I get an email. It's from Team Dan Locke. And they're saying, there's been a breach. This is a all hands on deck announcement, meeting, whatever. It's followed up by saying, Kayvon K, our former HTC instructor, has betrayed us. He is now public enemy number 1. And if I find this, I'm going to dig and find this email. I'm going to post it on either this YouTube page or my Ko-fi page. And yeah, it was so dramatic. He's public enemy number 1. He is not to be trusted. Do not do it. And then on the Facebook page, Dan Locke is making a video with Jenny and Desmond and saying, like, we've been betrayed. Kayvon's betrayed us. And it all comes down to the fact that Kayvon was simply recruiting students at Closers in Black. He was recruiting students. He was telling them, hey guys, this HTC thing, it's not going anywhere. You know it, I know it. Let's face it. This program is only succeeding because of me. And now that I'm going, it's gone. So he basically lured people over, saying, hey, you want the real sales training? You come this way. I feel like this needs a second part to it. So I'm going to end it here. All right. If you just came to find out what happened between Kayvon and Dan, that's it. That's the story. Dan told him, hey, do not recruit students at Closers in Black. And what he do? He recruited students at Closers in Black. That's the story. And now he's completely expunged Kayvon from HTC history and whatnot. And Kayvon doesn't even mention Dan Locke anymore. It's like he just became a sales expert overnight by himself. No thanks to Dan, right? By the way, I still have my HTC diploma. It's still wrapped up, and I promised myself that I would open this the day I got my first close. As you can see, it's not been opened. But somewhere in here is a certificate. And on that certificate is Dan Locke's signature and Kayvon's. I'm one of the last students to get both of their signatures on their HTC diploma, which is freaking hilarious. Because after this incident, Kayvon was wiped away. He was Thanos snapped. You will never ever see any mention of Kayvon from Dan Locke's mouth, probably from now to the end of time. So if this is kind of like part 1, the part 2, which I'll have to do another day because I gotta get ready, will be about that, more about that day, when the day of the betrayal, when Dan found out that Kayvon had betrayed him, and this whole drama, and the result of this drama was hundreds of HTC students either being kicked out or voluntarily leaving. It was almost like the civil war of HTC. So we'll continue this story another time. I'm already 14 minutes in? Damn, and we're not even done. Oh, this is a great story. Oh man, totally worth the $6,000 I paid for the program. All right, Michael, again, thank you, sir. Guys, have a wonderful day. Stay awesome. Watch out for fake gurus, all right? Peace.